Hey there, this is Pat Roque, the Rockstar Transformation Coach, and today we are going to talk about clarity and focus. It is really an important thing to figure out, not just what your heart tells you on, I feel like I should pursue, or here's my passion, or I want to do X, Y, or Z. It's about helping you figure out what the most critical needs are first. Where do we begin? It's the question that I get asked probably most often. It's not surprising that it confuses people. Hi, Rich. Thanks for joining. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the absolute best and 0 being a complete disaster, let's think about where you might want to focus some of the attention on growing your business. So, number 1, do you have a very clear vision and very specific goals for your business? Now, these questions will apply whether you already are owning a business, you work in a business, or if you are thinking about your next move, your transformation. Perhaps you are in one position and ready to move on to something else. So be a little flexible with the terms, but think about number 1, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you have a really crystal clear vision and very specific goals? 10 is great, 1, 0, not so much. The second question, do you have a marketing plan that brings in really great prospects? So are you fishing where the fish are? Is your outreach really rock solid? Or are you busy doing way too much work trying to chase people instead of attract them? So is your marketing plan great and rock solid? Give it a 10, or not so much, maybe you give it a little lower grade. Number 3, our sales professionals do a fantastic job converting prospects to customers. Now, think about it. You may be the sales professional or one of them or lead them, but how effective are you in actually taking the leads and harnessing, from out there in the great world and actually bringing them in and converting prospects to customers? Because it's all in the closing. So 10 being I'm a great closer, sales are coming in, and lower number meaning maybe not so much. Number 4, does your company deliver amazing product or service on time and with high quality? So you can have the best marketing or the best salesperson in the world, but if the product behind it is not so great, you're never going to keep people happy, and that's frustrating. I can give you an example. I had a cable guy. Nicest guy in the world, came, actually rang my doorbell. I did actually purchase from someone ringing my doorbell, so that tells you how good the guy was. And the trick is his company was pathetic, and no matter what he tried to do, it wasn't happening. So you've got great sales guy, gave me good pricing, it seemed fair, but the service, they couldn't deliver on it. They couldn't follow through. So again, do you have great service and product and high quality, deliver on time, or not so much? That's number 4. Number 5, question 5, are your costs coming down and your profits going up, or is the cost of doing business killing you? So if you are efficient with your sales so that your cost of doing business is lower, that's a great score. Give yourself a 10. And if you are seeing your expenses run away through the roof and trying to figure out a more efficient way to do things, you might want to give yourself a lower score. So again, cost of business, are profits up or not so much? Hi, Rick. Hey, Don. Hey, Rosemary. Welcome. Number 6. Is this you? Is cash flow never an issue? Are your bills always paid on time? So if you are rocking your finance and your accounting of it, my husband would be very happy. That's a 10. And if you are struggling to pay the bills or letting things slip behind, that is not so good. So let's think about, is the cash flow situation helping you or killing you at this point? Number 7, do you have a great staff and never have problems hiring the perfect people? So I'm going to include in this topic a little bit of delegation. I know a lot of people in the entrepreneurial set who are struggling with delegation because they're working on a shoestring or they're rebuilding a business, so they're getting things done a little bit more by themselves or with small teams. Have you figured out how to delegate? Do you have the right people in place. I see a question that says, do you own your own business, or is my husband? No, I've owned my own business. It's called Business Boomers since 1988. So I've been doing this a really, really long time. I've been an entrepreneur. I've worked with Fortune 100 companies, Nobel Prize winners, CEOs. I also do a lot with marketing, or actually coaching and speaking for associations and helping entrepreneurs figure out what they need to do to get ahead. So great question. My husband happens to be a CPA, CFO, and he's done a ton of small business consulting and large, but absolutely well-versed at running the business side. We are efficient. From the first day I started this company, it was always about making sure I knew how to make money, I knew how to protect myself with good contracts, and I knew how to keep my money. Always, 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 because it's not worth working if you can't hang on to what you make. I mean, that's crazy. So good question. Thank you for that. So that was number 6, about cash flow. Number 7 was about, we have a great staff and no problems hiring. If you're having questions around delegation or around growing your team, that should be a question. So that 10 is, we've got it figured out, and number less than 5 is not so much. I need some help with delegation or making sure I have a great staff around me. Number 8, do you feel well rested? Do you have plenty of time away from your desk, away from your phone, away from your office in order to have that work-life balance? So I firmly believe we deserve the 5 facets of a brilliant life: family, fun, fitness, finance, and a fabulous career. Are you able to balance all of it, or are you working yourself to death so you're going to end up in the hospital with a heart attack or worse? So 10 means I've got my time management rocking, and not so much. Give yourself a lower score. Question number 9 is, I have great emotional support in my life and in my business. So we can work on skills. We can, some of this is stuff that comes from within, and some of it is from the outside. So your environment and the emotion, those are some of the things from the outside in. So if you feel like you're rowing the boat alone, and you feel like people either don't understand your mission, maybe you need to learn how to better clarify it, or they're not buying what you're selling, there's usually some tweaks that need to be made. Do you feel like you've got great support from the outside in? You've got yourself surrounded by the right kind of people to help? And I guess number 10, finally, is I have advisors that give me great advice and keep on track. So are you held accountable? Hey, Stephanie, are you held accountable for your activity? Are you really on track? Have you set goals for the year? And have you reached them? So it is already August right now as I'm recording this, and people are either completely overjoyed. Give yourself a 10 if you are overjoyed and rocking it, or you need to give yourself a lower score if you feel like you're banging your head against the wall a little bit and it's not quite working the way you planned. And I guess at the end of the day, my wish for you today is to get clarity on what your business needs most. You may have had some challenges with a few of the things. I am working with a checklist here. You may have had some challenges with a few things on the checklist. So I'm going to repeat them one more time, and I will make this available. If you put a message in here that you want a copy of my Business Get Clarity checklist, feel free, and you can kind of give yourself your own scorecard. But the first is clear vision on goals, clear vision and specific goals. The second is a great marketing plan that generates prospects. The third is great sales team so that you know how to actually convert prospects into customers. The fourth is my company delivers an awesome product or service with high quality. So are you building your product still, or are you already that's done and they rock and you just got to get it out there? No problem, I'll get you copies. The next is, our costs are going down and profits up. Are you really profitable, or are you not so much and you're starting to watch leaky buckets and trying to figure out where those leaky buckets I call them leaky buckets. That means money's coming in, but it feels like it's flowing out faster than before. Sometimes it's processed. Sometimes you're not charging the right amount. Sometimes maybe you need to package your stuff better. In any event, are profits up and costs down or not? The next is cash flow. Are your bills paid on time? Can you handle it? Have you got your costs? So you're only really hiring, doing, or subscribing to actual paid subscriptions for things that are going to drive value. The next is staffing. Do you have great staff? Do you have a great team? They don't have to be employees, but are there the right people surrounding you to help you manage what you need to get done? Next is, are you taking good care of you? Are you taking the me time, and are you feeling well rested? Or is time management and your calendar absolutely drowning you? Next, number 9, about emotional support on things that are both in my business and my life. And number 10, have you surrounded yourself with really great advisors, people you know, people you trust, and people that will not yes you to death? More importantly, a coach or a team, you need people who will give you the straight shot, the honest answer. They're not going to tell you what to do. You should be looking for somebody who's going to help pull out from inside of you what's going on and help give you a reflection of what to do with that. There's a big difference from being directed and barking orders, somebody that's managing you and directing you, or somebody who's consulting that does it for you, somebody who's training who teaches you some of the actual skills, or someone who's coaching you who actually gives you a strong sense of direction, of strategy, of assimilation, the things that have worked in other industries or for other kinds of people with similar problems to yourself. If you have questions on any of these things, put a message, or you can schedule 30 minutes with me. I am Pat at rockonsuccess.com/discover. That's Pat at rockonsuccess.com/discover. Or if you're watching this and you're already in my coaching program, feel free. We're going to have you go through and make sure you are super crystal clear on what your business needs most, so that we can figure out how to zone into your greatness and get you to rock your business and your life. Have a great day, guys. Rock on.